Philippine National Police Chief Ronald Dela Rosa cries again during a Senate probe as he tried to fend off allegations of state-sanctioned extrajudicial killings. This after Senator Risa Hontiveros said there seemed to be a pattern of killings of drug suspects, citing the case of 17-year-old Kian de los Santos and 19-year-old Carl Arnaiz. De La Rosa responds with a passionate denial.
I am grieving for majority of my men who are yung buhay nila tapos i-accuse nyo kami ng palisiyan na gano'n. Masakit. Magpakamatay kami para sa inosente tao, hindi. Pagkahirap naman sabihin nyo na palisi na malawakang pagpatay. I am the PNP. Nandyan yung Lord. Nandyan si Lord. Nakikita, alam niya. I am willing to go back to Davao. Pag ma-prove yan, Your Honor. Masama yung sabihin mo gano'n eh.
Hontiveros corrects De La Rosa and says she was referring to someone higher than him in an apparent reference to President Rodrigo Duterte. Duterte made several pronouncements that supposedly encouraged and emboldened police to kill drug suspects. De La Rosa insists Duterte has no orders to kill and accuses Hontiveros and other critics of the administration's war on drugs of being closed-minded.
Pumatay ba ko ngayon? Walang sinabi si Presidente sa akin na pumatay kayo na pumatay. Makasakit sa akin dahil 175,000 na tauhan ko ngayon nanonood sa akin. Sabi na, paano ko depensahan yung organisasyon ko na yung utak nyo sarado na may palisiya na pumatay kami ng pumatay?
The Supreme Court upholds the integrity of the automated election system, which former Senator Bongbong Marcos questioned in his electoral protest against Vice President Leni Robredo. The SC, sitting as the Presidential Electoral Tribunal, junks Marcos's first cause of action for the electoral protest. In its decision, the SC says even if Marcos succeeds in proving his first cause of action, this will not mean that he has already won the position of Vice President, as this can only be determined by a manual recount of all votes in all precincts. It adds it would, quote, be an exercise in futility and would have no practical effect. Marcos accused Robredo and the Liberal Party of cheating in the 2016 elections. Presidential spokesman Ernesto Abella says President Rodrigo Duterte personally gave his assurance to the Moro Islamic Liberation Front that the passage of the proposed Bangsamoro Basic Law is an administration priority. Abella says Duterte told MILF leaders he intends to speak with Senate President Coco Pimentel and Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez about the passage of the BBL. The MILF earlier accused the Duterte administration of non-compliance with signed peace agreements. The MILF said no lawmaker sponsored the proposed BBL and it was not among the 28 priority legislative measures of the Legislative Executive Development Advisory Council or LEDAC. The Commission on Elections on Tuesday says it will postpone the barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections in Mindanao because of martial law in the area. All 7 COMELEC and bank members signed a resolution, citing security concerns. The poll body says the postponement is subject to 2 conditions: that the COMELEC shall immediately conduct the barangay and SK elections not later than 30 days from the cessation of martial law in Mindanao, and if Congress passes a law postponing the barangay and SK elections nationwide. The barangay and SK elections are scheduled on October 23. But it is still unclear if the barangay and SK elections nationwide will push through on this date because Congress needs to pass a law to postpone these for the entire Philippines. The United States says it is donating 730 million pesos or $15 million to help rebuild Marawi City, the site of months-long clashes between Philippine troops and terrorists linked to ISIS. U.S. Ambassador Sung Kim says the Marawi conflict is the most urgent challenge facing the 71-year-old ties between Manila and Washington. Kim says, quote, "We all look forward to the end of the crisis and the end of the fighting and suffering. We have been and will continue to support the Philippine government's efforts to deal with the crisis." The 730 million pesos will be coursed through the United States Agency for International Development, the American agency in charge of foreign aid. The assistance will be used for critical relief supplies and to support the early recovery, stabilization, and rehabilitation of Marawi and the surrounding area. The donation comes even as Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte slammed the U.S. for supposedly interfering in his bloody war on drugs.